Well, hey there. Hi. How you doing? My name's Paul. This is Plan Z. It's him again. And we're diving into a natural amp today. We're the AB patch that I've set up in the first two videos of this deep dive, fly on the wall, Paul styley, as we explore this GT1000, is the natural amp. And that patch I was building is now housing natural amps in different states. We're going to go into the low, the medium and the high gain amps, see what they can do. Will it chug? How clean will it go? How dirty will it go? Etc. It's a natural amp, so I don't expect it to go too high off the gain chart, but we're going to dive in anyway. But just before we do, there's going to be two videos to this. I tried doing it short, you just can't do it. It's a 3-channel amp and I couldn't do it in less than 10 minutes. So we're going to dive into the view now, but before we do, I just want to show you the amps that are going to be used in the second part. So basically, while I was working all of this out, I came up with some of the patches we've been building so far in other videos. So we've got the AB here. Okay, and then I've got a high gain of that. Then we've got an AB natural, slightly fuller. No compressors on the front end of this. I want to keep it completely natural for the amp for your settings view in just a second. Then I've got a medium gain natural with a high. I've turned it up to 12. And let's just do a little experiment. Okay, I'm not changing how I'm strumming it. Sorry, the light keeps moving around there, that's annoying. Okay, and then I'm going to roll the gain in. Okay, so it cleans up, all right, let's get that out of the way. Now, that's obviously got a wet channel set up on it. And then I set up one other patch. Where are we? Just here. When it's wet, we've got some extra effects on it, a bit of a hold. And in those patches, I'm using different effects. We're going to do a jam in a second video. But now let's dive into a natural amp, see what it can do. Okay, so we're straight in here. We're straight onto the amp. Just so we know what's going on, we're going to go to the end of the signal chain here. We're just going to have a quick look. We've got the 212s. We've got the dynamic 421 on. I've got the medium distance. We're 2 centimeters off from center of the cone. And we've got nothing else apart from a bit of EQ. And just so you can see what's going on there, that's my settings. I'm just bumping it by 4. I'm taking out 500 hertz. And I'm taking out 6.3. I've done a high and a low cut. I do my high and low cut between 8 and 10, depending on the patch, and up to 125. Yeah, on the master out, I leave it flat apart from a slight cut up to about 40k. Now, in the amp, this is the natural. Just these fingers. Back on a pick. Okay, and then we've got the B channel, which is the dirty, and you'll see over here, when I hit the switch, this part here switches from middle to high gain on the 1 amp. We set it up in the first video. So what we're going to do now is in the middle gain, we're going to see what happens if we bump the gain. So I'm going to go all the way up to, I'm going to max it, I'm going to bring down the volume. See if we can get a little. Okay, so that's what that sounds like if we bump the gain. Now, if we come along to the end here and we change this to a low gain amp, let's see what we can do with that. So let's bring the gain into 50. Let's bring the level up. It's quite nice. Maybe you want a bit more gain. And what I tend to do is I tend to go up. If you press in the button and if you hold and turn at the same time, if you press it in and turn, you can go up in increments of 10. Here, if you watch, I'll do it here. So it'll go 20. Oh, sugar, I didn't want to do that. No. You hold it in and you can go up in increments of 10. And what I tend to do is do that and then fine tune it. So just pull that back a touch. I find that it is really sensitive to light touches. Okay, so that's a nice clean sound. Let's see what happens if we take some of this resonance out. You should feel that's warmer. But what we've actually got happening in the next part is we've taken a bit of bass out. And let's play around with the middle and see what happens. We're on the bright at the moment, so let's take that off. Hopefully you can hear the difference there. That is slightly brighter. You're going to feel more of a difference on higher gain sounds. But let's just see what happens if we play with the middle here. We know our bass and treble is pretty good at the moment. So see there, I might even want a bit more gain. Let's see what happens. Take that up a bit. Bump that a bit more. Yeah, that's quite nice. So I'm just going to pull that gain back a bit again. Where were we? About 70, weren't we? But actually, what we're going to do is we're going to pull that back just a touch. And we're going to come back in. We're going to bring some mids in. Let's go the other way. So this is our midpoint. What I probably want to look at here is what's happening with the overall level. So I'm just going to bump the gain back to the 70 there. Just going to pull the overall level back a little bit. It's nice and warm. Okay, so what we're going to do now is we're now going to go to the mid-gain amp and let's see what happens when we do the same thing. So let's bring the middle back to the middle. We're now going to bring our gain to 50. We'll bring this down a bit. Sounds like quite a good level there. Now let's see how clean we can get this. Yeah, that's quite good. So let's go the other way. We'll go back up to where we started out, going up to, let's take it up to 12. Come back down to maybe 70. No, let's go lower, 60. Because we got the mids pushed, isn't it? Go into the back pickup. Just going to pull the level back a bit. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is go to the mids and let's just bump them. Just going to come back and watch this level here. So let's just pull that back a touch. That's the mids maxed out. Sweep it. This is what happens at the other end. Let's bring some in. Let's bring some more in. But this is all going in the wrong territory. I'm going to go back to the neck pickup. Let's bring some mids in. Yeah, it's quite creamy. So what we're going to do now is actually let's just quickly take that bright off. I like the brightness on, it just lifts it a touch. Now let's go with the presence, let's take it all off. Let's roll it all on. See how it brings the picking out a bit more. Okay, so now what we're going to do is go to the high gain amp, and we're going to start off by seeing if we can't clean it up. Let's bring our mids back into the middle. Right, let's go to level. Now we can clean it up. Let's see if we can't warm it up. Bring that level back a bit. So it's clean, but it's very thin. It's nice, I like that. And let's just gradually introduce the gain. That's better, isn't it? Okay, let's bring this in. Bring our level back. I'm going to go all the way up to 12. I'm going to pull this level back a bit. I'm going to bring this resonance back. I'm going to pull the bass back a bit. Let's bump our mids. Let's now look at... I wonder if this will chug. Okay. Let's leave that like that for a moment. I think we've done all three. I'm going to dive out of there. I'm not going to save it. I'm going to go back and it will be exactly as I originally found it. Okay, so that's what I was doing. Let's go and have a jam. Okay, so that's the end of the video. We're going to go straight into the second video. I'm going to release it shortly after this one, so we can just hear the jam. So you've got a choice of which video you want to watch. If you want to hear what I do with those natural amps, or if you just want the settings video. It's the only way I could do it is short videos. Otherwise, it was like a 20-minute video again. So yeah, see you later. See you in the other video if you're up for the jam. Well, hey there.